The cap, the gown, the diploma. It's supposed to be a ticket to a bright future. But for nursing graduates, that promise is broken. Instead, many leave their first jobs within months of starting. They don't leave because of patience, ratios, or long shifts alone. They leave because the very people tasked with guiding them, preceptors, become their main source of mistreatment. They are sending a distress call, but it seems no one, not nursing schools, not employers, is listening. Here, we will expose the deep disconnects causing this crisis and uncover who is failing the next generation of nurses we desperately need. This is not an isolated story. It is a documented, measurable, and preventable threat to nurse retention. And it is draining hospitals of talent at the exact moment when retirements and attrition already cut deep into the workforce. Bullying in nursing is not new. What has become clearer is how often it originates from preceptors. Up to 59% of new grads report bullying by senior staff, including their preceptors. Up to 87% of novice nurses experience incivility in their first year. This means that in some hospitals, more than half of all novice nurses begin their careers under hostility, not mentorship. Hospitals often assign preceptor roles based only on seniority or availability. But many preceptors lack training in teaching, feedback, or conflict resolution. The result? A power imbalance and a dangerous dynamic. Nurses with poor interpersonal skills gain unchecked influence over the newest and most vulnerable staff. Preceptor bullying is not always screaming or overt insults. It is exclusion from learning, harsh criticism in front of peers, or withholding information. Sometimes it is sarcastic remarks and persistent belittling. One new grad described a preceptor who quizzed her harshly in front of patients, then announced she would never make it in nursing. 6 months later, she resigned. One ICU preceptor admitted that she often withheld details on purpose to see if the new nurse could figure it out. The new grad left for a different hospital in the first year. Often new grads find it easier to quit than to fight every day. You'd expect hospitals to solve this with better training, but many don't have adequate or appropriate onboarding programs for new graduates or training for preceptors. So we have unprepared grads and unprepared preceptors. What does this collision look like from the manager's desk? High turnover rates, huge costs to replace and train new nurses, patient quality affected negatively, and a vicious cycle of hire, leave. The frustration has boiled over. Change has to come because the healthcare system can't afford to continue this same path. The American Nurses Association estimates that over 500,000 experienced nurses will retire by 2030. More are lost by attrition. Without strong pipelines of new grads, hospitals won't have enough staff to maintain safe patient ratios. So, who is failing new graduates? Everyone. Nursing schools for inadequate preparation for complex power imbalances. Employers for abdicating their duty to train the trainers. Nursing schools must integrate real-world skills. Hospitals must invest in structured mentorship, seeing it not as a cost, but a necessity. And graduates must be proactive. Seek mentors. Build practical skills that they don't learn in nursing school by attending workshops to teach those missing skills. Skills that include knowing how to respond in real time to bullies, even preceptors. How to escalate without fear of retaliation. How to be confident in the face of hostility. Every lost nurse costs between $37,000 up to $70,000 to recruit, train, and orient. Plus, overtime for remaining nurses. Multiply that by dozens of lost new grads each year in a single facility, and the cost runs into millions. Executives who dismiss bullying as part of the culture, or a rite of passage, are, in effect, accepting financial losses and staffing instability as normal operating costs. The call for help is getting louder. The only question is, are we finally ready to listen? Share this video if you think it's time to fix our broken system for new nursing grads. What was your biggest challenge entering the workforce? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more reports on the changing and challenging world of nursing. Visit epicwebinars.com for more information.